Hey, it's Kurt, and you're listening to F Your Opinion. Nolian is back to discuss the season so far and what we love about Monaco. We spoke on the Tuesday before the Monaco GP. You can find the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and YouTube. So be sure to subscribe and tell a friend. Enjoy, and F Your Opinion.
Hey, Nolian. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. Been busy the last couple weeks, and a lot of running around and taking care of sorts of random stuff. So, but I'm glad I could get together, set up some time with you, to chat a little F1.
I like last time, so plus I haven't talked F1 in a while with anybody, so it's good to get the opportunity. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, let's get right in it. So, last week was Spanish GP. Basically, Hamilton ran the table start to finish.
Yep.
And, so from the front, not a super exciting race, but, what do you think of the season so far and the last race and going into Monaco this week?
So far it's been a surprisingly very good season. I've really enjoyed it, bar one or two races. Even the ones that weren't too exciting were, still worth a watch, And then the three or so that were just amazing, best, I don't know what the rest of the season has in store, but, at least Baku, Bahrain, and, what was the third race of the season?
China?
China, yes. Yeah, I really enjoyed those. So
yeah,
and I think we got the European season coming up, and that always has a lot of great tracks. So in Monaco now, so yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the season to come. I like how close it's been, and it's not just two people. Well, it kind of is just Hamilton and Vettel, but I'm holding out hope that the number twos for the teams and Red Bull can get in the mix and keep it exciting.
Yeah, Red Bull. I mean, they would have a better chance if they hadn't thrown away a lot of races. I mean, I've talked about the whole Max Verstappen thing with everybody, So yeah, obviously some missed opportunities there for them, both on the team side and the driver side. But I mean, it's interesting to see how the rest of the season is going to stack up. I think McLaren is still like a dark horse. Their car is right on the edge. It could go good. You know what I mean? They start really getting pace and challenging for, I don't know, wins, but, podiums or fighting with Red Bull. Theoretically, they have the same power unit. So
right.
It's possible. Yeah. Or they could just fall away and, get beaten by Force India and Factory Renault and all that stuff.
I think they're going to stay, the Haas as well. I feel like McLaren, Haas, and Factory Renault, they're probably going to be very close. The whole, maybe even Force India, because they surprised us in Baku. They'll probably be very close for the whole rest of the season. So you can always look forward to, pretty good battles in the midfield for sure.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if they do surpass Red Bull. Very surprised. I think they got a lot to make up. I think they did have a big upgrade package in Spain, but not too much came out of it. I don't know. I think they're about on par now with Renault. I think before they were behind Renault, but I think now they're about equal.
Yeah.
What about Stoffel though? What do you think of him? We always think of just Alonso with McLaren. But I guess it's been 2 years, and nobody really talks about the number two driver. He hasn't really shown too much promise in my eyes, or nothing really exceptional. So
yeah, it is interesting. I mean, he seems like a good driver. I can't recall him making a ton of mistakes. At the same time, I don't recall him having a lot of brilliant drives.
Right. Yeah.
He was supposed to be this. Revelation, this amazing talent. And I mean, obviously the troubles that McLaren has had with the car have just, totally thrown cold water on any type of debut he would have had. Verstappen, had a car that was somewhat competitive, and, you got him close enough and he was able to turn it to a win. And, it's because because that car has been just so bad all of those years, it's hard to gauge, is he a great driver? Now, the flip side of that is if he is getting his, midfield battling and underpowered car, and if he's developing as a driver with, this substandard car, when he's put in a competitive championship winning car, who knows what that means? Is he able to really do a lot with not much? You know what I mean? So, Alonso pulls out these amazing drives, where he stretches, fifth or sixth place, out of that car, and Van Dorn doesn't have that kind of ability yet. And I think, him getting upstaged by Alonso and Alonso just being kind of the character that he is, you're right. It's not given Van Dorn a real fair chance at Formula One, but I don't think he's on. I think he has potentially a long, fulfilling career ahead of him. But he's kind of starting at a bad time, both in terms of Alonso's shadow and just a car that is uncompetitive.
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of thinking, Alonso has kind of like outperformed him. That was to be expected. You would still hope, like here and there, that Stoffel does beat him and puts in a remarkable result. One maybe twice a season. I'm just trying to think like any battles I've seen. I don't think I've seen any like on track battles with him. Or is he good at overtaking? Is he aggressive? I just really don't know much about him because he's just never on screen, or no one really talks about him. So I was he's kind of a mystery.
Yeah, it is. He is a bit of a mystery, and I think maybe he doesn't bring a lot of hype. He's not super controversial. He's not.
He does make mistakes, I think. So that's
he's not talking. He's not talking shit on the radio that gets, highlights and things like that. You know what I mean? So he does fly under the radar a lot.
I guess he's kind of like a Bottas.
He is. Yeah, he is, and hopefully, he'll get a chance to, because I think he is a talented driver. I don't know much about his younger career. But again, he hasn't made a lot of the rookie mistakes, you know what I mean? Crashing into people or slow on the blue flag, or, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that because you haven't heard that much of it, almost like a no news is good news kind of approach, which is not the best way to become a Formula One superstar or world champion. But, who knows? I feel like, he does a lot of his talking on the track, so he's not, digging up a lot of media hype, but, hopefully he will get that chance to come, to come good. So we'll see. And I mean, McLaren has a couple of other guys, Lando Norris, who's a guy in a younger formula who's supposedly setting the world on fire. And then there's, what happens to Alonso, you know what I mean? It's, even if McLaren has a great year, what does that mean? They're fourth in the constructors.
Right.
And then Alonso just retires after that. So, I don't know.
I'm holding out hope that he'll somehow get back into one of the top three teams, because I don't think he wants to retire. But I don't know what options there are right now, to be honest. So it'd be great if he did, or if McLaren became one of the top three teams. That would be ideal. Yeah. But it would have to be something for next season, or unless they pull out some really amazing surprises this year.
Yeah, and I think that's tough. I think, Mercedes and Ferrari win on sheer engine power. That's what keeps them ahead of Red Bull and Adrian Newey and his aerodynamics, right? There's always this battle between aerodynamics and engine performance. So Adrian Newey is far and away the Michael Jordan or LeBron James of his, of his sport, in that he just transcends it and is able to kind of operate on a whole other level. And you have whole departments that can't produce what this one guy does, has done consistently. So as long as Red Bull has Adrian Newey, they're always going to be somewhat competitive. And, McLaren kind of seems like they haven't really had their act together in terms of just drama with, kicking out Ron Dennis and, changing out, kind of the leadership there and, a lousy car, totally unrelated to that, the whole Honda gamble totally failed.
Yeah, that was a tense documentary. I don't know if you saw it, but that really did give me insight on that, just how everyone on that team is feeling. Yeah, they're all hard workers, but it's a gloomy team, gloomy environment.
Yeah, and it was, that documentary ended, and then they went on and had an even worse season than the previous season. That the documentary doesn't even cover, which is it
was off to a bad start, and man, it just kept getting worse and worse.
Yeah, and then if you know how the season turned out, it's even more cringeworthy. The car was just unbelievably bad. So all those failed promises, and it was pretty bad. But
right,
looking forward to Monaco this week.
I won't be able to watch it till Monday, but I'm gonna have to avoid spoilers and all that. But it should be easy. I'm going on a trip. It's Memorial Day weekend, so I'll be back and watching it. I should be able to avoid spoilers. The most important thing I want to avoid is just the qualifying. That's always what I'm most excited about in Monaco.
Yeah.
That last 10 minutes in qualifying.
Yeah, that is.
Unless the races.
That last 10 minutes is always my favorite, and even the last 2 minutes. It's after everybody puts in their banker lap, you know what I mean? That's my favorite 2 minutes all week is watching this. There's no commercial break, there's no timeouts, there's no, unless Nico Rosberg, drops it and causes a yellow flag or Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, that was so anticlimactic that year. Oh my God.
But I'm looking forward to Monaco qualifying, most definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's notoriously not the most exciting race to watch from an on-track battles perspective, and also it being always falling on Memorial Day weekend, and always kind of creates okay, do I want to watch it or do I want to go do something else, and then I'll watch it kind of out of the corner of my eye sometimes. There's definitely been some boring Monacos, although the last couple of ones have been kind of interesting, with the whole Red Bull tire mistake with Ricardo. And what was the other one? Hamilton. Oh, I guess the whole Rosberg getting ahead of Hamilton.
What's good with Monaco, though, is when there are many teams, that are close in pace, it opens up a lot of opportunities for strategy. So if the top 6 cars are very close to each other, strategy can play a huge role. Whereas before, if it's just Hamilton or Rosberg, 30 seconds ahead of the field before they pit, there's really not much to look forward to. But I think this season there definitely is potential for a big shakeup or even qualifying. I feel like if it's a repeat of last year, Mercedes might not be as competitive, and they might be starting back in the middle of the top 10.
Yeah.
And you might get some surprise people in the top 4, and it might not even be maybe a Renault or maybe even a McLaren, because who knows? You never know with Monaco which cars are which cars it suits.
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, remember Jarno Trulli won Monaco twice,
right,
from pole. Never had any other wins.
So there is that potential.
If you are the one lap master, if you can put in a hot lap like nobody's business, and just come out that much ahead and control it, then it's yours. So I think everybody's going to be pulling out all the stops. Plus the tire strategy. I was reading that even though they are using the hyper soft tires for the first time, that even those are not apparently soft enough to really have high degradation, or Monaco is just so smooth.
It's going to be a one-stopper again.
It's going to be, even a one-stopper. So they might be on whatever, ultra soft to hyper soft one stop. But we'll see.
It'll be a one-stopper. Somebody's going to go really long, and then an incident's going to happen, and safety car will come out, and that somebody's going to be Kimi, because they always leave Kimi out, and somehow Kimi's going to come out and win. That's my prediction.
So, in the same vein of predictions, who will not finish the? Give me 3 drivers who will not finish the Monaco GP.
So tempted to just say Grosjean right now, as sad as it is, but I'm going to go ahead and say Grosjean, Ericsson, just, I don't, and then, because he's always in the midfield, and I don't know, maybe not, he doesn't really get in accidents, I just don't know much about him, but I don't know, very good chance that Max, again, because he is pretty aggressive, and he's going to try to, make a move on someone. He doesn't have the patience as some of the other drivers in Monaco that can easily end up in a accident.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Max, Grosjean, and the third one doesn't really matter, Ericsson, yeah, but it could be anyone.
Okay, I'm going to take Sirotkin, just because I feel like he's going to put it in the wall multiple times.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of Williams carbon fiber on the streets in Monaco this weekend between Sirotkin and Lance Stroll. Let's see here. Who else? I feel like, boy, I was really disappointed to see Nico Hülkenberg put it in the wall in Baku.
Oh man, me too.
Just randomly.
He would have been on the podium for sure.
Yeah,
that was his podium right there.
Yeah.
I think the year before that, he also could have been on the podium if he didn't crash out.
Yeah, he threw it away. So that's unfortunate.
So disappointing.
I'm gonna say Sirotkin. I don't want to jinx Kimi and say, so I'm gonna say Raikkonen in the hope that I will be wrong.
Okay.
So Sirotkin, Raikkonen. And I almost want to say Lance Stroll too. I don't have really any confidence in the Williams lineup. Williams is a team this year. I'm ashamed to wear my Williams Formula One jacket that my girlfriend bought me a couple years ago.
That's sad. I feel bad. I feel so bad for them.
Their team is so lousy this year, but I'm going to say a double DNF from Williams, heartbreaking. Hopefully it doesn't happen. I'm kind of hedging my bets. I don't want to see Williams as a team double DNF in Monaco, but it's not going to take much on lap 48 where one of those guys just is kind of letting it slip and then just puts it right in the wall. And not even in a bad, disastrous way. Just runs a little too wide, clips the tire, clips the barrier, and punctures, and has to hobble around 3/4 of the track into the pit. That's what I think is that's my call. But yeah, other than that, hoping for an exciting race. And
good qualifying. I'm a Hamilton fan, but I don't really want him to win. I kind of want the championship to stay close. So I hope Bottas, Kimi, or the Red Bulls. I really hope the Red Bulls do good because, they always, last few years, they've been great at Monaco. So I have high hopes for them. So I hope, I hope Max or Ricardo and Kimi and Bottas can,
get in
bunch
there.
up the front.
I think it's possible. I mean, Hamilton he is a master around Monaco. I mean, he's won it so many times, and even times that he was very close to winning it.
Yeah,
and it just didn't happen for whatever reason. But I mean, the odds are definitely in his favor. But seeing somebody from kind of the rounding out the top 5. I think Ricardo has a halfway decent chance at winning this. I mean, he put it on pole before. The car seems to be getting better. The car, that Red Bull car is good. I feel like just they're either, the engine giving up on them or driver screw-ups have been stealing a lot of points from that team. So if they can get it together, I think they could be a very, very strong threat.
I think Ricardo had 2 DNFs, and so he would be really close with, probably Vettel's amount of points if he wasn't for the accident in Baku or where else? His engine blew up, I think the second race or third race of the season. So.
In Bahrain. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a double DNF in Bahrain. Mm-hmm. And so, who knows? Mm-hmm. But it should be a good race. one way or another, to hopefully get the field mixed up a little bit and, set us up for a good summer.
Yeah, Montreal is after that, so
that's right.
Even more exciting. Mm-hmm.
That's right, even more exciting. So, yeah.
I'm for me in Montreal, I've only been to 2 F1 races. Montreal in 2012 and Austin, and Hamilton won both of those. It'd be great if he could repeat that.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of races Hamilton has won as well. Mm-hmm. And I went to one of, at least in my opinion, one of his best drives, which was it 2014, 13? It was in Hungary, when I went to Europe, and he his engine caught fire in qualifying, and he had to start from, I want to say he started from the pit lane.
It was 2014. I'm pretty.
2014.
It was 2014 or 15 because I know he was competing with Rosberg that year.
Yeah, Rosberg started on pole. Hamilton started from the pit lane, and Hamilton finished ahead of Rosberg. Hamilton finished third on the podium. So, and even at that race, he's like, Martin Brundle said something like, "Oh, this was one of your greatest races," and Hamilton's like, "No, it wasn't." But I think when you really look back, it was really one of his best drives. And I was there.
I think so too. I remember being so surprised. And Hungary is not an easy track to pass people on either, even though they had a big advantage. But still,
it's not. It was, if you have your F1 TV Pro subscription, go put the highlights of that one on, because it was one of his best drives, I think. So,
is it working well? Because I know you have it. I haven't gotten it yet. I definitely probably will. What do you think of it
got
overall?
it. It took a minute. On Sunday, I was waiting for the race. Normally I downloaded a torrent or a stream. I was waiting for the race to come on, and the race finally pops up maybe 5 or 6 hours after it had finished, and it had the result in text right underneath the image. And I was pretty pissed off, and so I fired off like an angry email like, how can you have this? Like, if I want to go back and watch...
That's reasonable.
If I want to go back and watch the 1995 season, because I've never seen it before, and I don't really know who wins, or whatever, some season I really didn't know the outcome from, how can you show the result of every race on the screen? It doesn't make any sense. So they said, they're working on it. I mean, it's pretty good considering, what we've suffered through as F1 fans in America. I mean, anything would be better than what we had. It has a lot of potential to be better, so I'm hoping that it's off to a little bit of a shaky start, but I'm hoping that it improves, quickly. So, but so far, I mean, I plunked down the Pro subscription for a year, no questions, without hesitation.
Yeah.
So, and they've had a few kind of partial refunds because of lousy quality. So at least they're recognizing that, they're trying to get something going here. So I'm fingers crossed it's good for Monaco and, gets better and better every race.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I mean, you can tell even from the races and their on-screen graphics, they've been having so many bugs that they've been ironing out slowly and trying out new things. So
yeah,
I feel like this year it's almost like a beta test for all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like by next year they should have it all ironed out, and it'll probably be a lot more, widespread, or way more people will have it. I know I will, especially because they have the old races. I didn't realize that at first, but that is a huge bonus to it. I can just have that on, and while I'm working, have it on in the background, because all those classic races, especially the 90s ones, it brings back a lot of memories, and they're really fun to watch.
I do appreciate them trying, so it's, again, it's bumpy because it's new stuff, you know what I mean? Like you're saying, even the graphics,
it's a big step forward in the right direction, I think.
Yeah,
and
they'll
get it right.
Bernie would never do any of that stuff.
No.
So, it's again one of those things where, I can appreciate the change and the improvements, and hopefully they can again get the spoilers off. I just logged in just to see if it was any better, and they have the highlights screen, click here to view the highlights, but then there's a picture of the podium, and it's like, well, if you didn't see the race, you're literally looking at the podium right now. Come on, guys. So hopefully they'll get it together. But
that's basic stuff right there. That's enough for me to hold off on getting it until they get that fixed. That's big.
Yeah. So, but all right, man. Well, have a good Memorial Day weekend, and I'll definitely see you in Canada if I don't talk to you between now and then.
Yeah, maybe we'll fit a karting day in between. But thank you, and good talking to you. Hopefully, I'll see you in a bit.
All right, man. Thanks. Catch you later, Nolian.
See ya.
Bye.